Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a little late. I'm a couple days late, but I'm doing this for a client. Lazy Susan got the back, got the back taped. I've been playing around this morning, so my Lazy Susan's a little bit dirty and wet. But so tape the back. Easiest way that I have found to do that is to tape it all up and then use an X-Acto knife to just run along, right along that edge. Gives the cleanest cut. So you want to make sure you have a clean edge, because when you pull that tape off after you've resined it, you want to make sure you don't have to do a lot of sanding along this edge. So going to be doing, back to my original thought, got sidetracked there, a bloom swipe in rainbow colors. So that's why I said I'm a little bit late. Doing this for a client, like I said, for her. It's for her daughter. All right, so my colors, I'm just going to tell you as I go. My paint is my normal color base, or color place. Base paint is Color Place. Get it at Walmart. This one is satin. I'm going to go back to my semi-gloss and see if it makes any kind of a difference. Mostly because that's what I could get, was the semi-gloss. And this is antique white. They have not had regular white for a long time. So I switched to antique white. And to me, a little bit of difference, but not a whole lot of difference. So I'm stretching this out. When you're doing a bloom swipe, you don't want to have an excessive amount of paint on the surface, because you're going to be pulling that other paint out to the edges, and you just don't need a lot of paint. You want to be able to spin and have it stay in a nice design. So if you have too much base paint on there, it tends to warp your design a little bit. So try to get off some of it. Unlike with a bloom, you have a puddle, you don't really want a puddle. All right, so I'm doing this a little different than I would normally do for a bloom swipe. I want to make sure you guys are in here. Now that I moved that, I'm just going to move it up a little bit. See if I can get you almost all in frame without being too far away. All right, so because I want to keep the rainbow, I'm not going to go all the way across with the colors, because then they kind of mush together. So I'm just going to start out with like a partial line of the red. I'll go a little bit further over, because remember, a lot of this is going to spin off, so I want to keep as much of it as I can. I'm going to overlap a little bit with the orange into the red. The red is a mixture of Color Art, has a couple, let me think, poppy red and cinnamon, hot cinnamon. And then I mixed that into my maraschino, which is TLP. So just so that I would have enough reds, and my Color Art reds were a little thin and the maraschino wasn't. So, check your consistencies before you start. I am using two different greens because I love the brighter, lighter green in there with the darker green. Right. That green was Hooker's green, and the light green was, what is my light green? It was a Color Art. Lime Peel, I think? Yeah, no, Kiwi. Color Art Kiwi. This blue, I didn't have any phthalo blue, so I went with what I had, which was the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic Blue. Just a regular blue. Okay, we're going to end with purple. And because I'm a little bit shy on the end there, I'm going to go back in with the red. we'll just start all over again. Because remember, that red is going to spin off. So, all right, got all our colors on there. The orange is a cat orange with a little bit of, I think, phoenix feather in there, which is Art Alchemy. So it gives it a little bit of a shimmer. The yellow is just a cad yellow. But I do think I put a little bit of iridescent medium in there because I like everything to have a little bit of shimmer to it. I'm also going to add just a drizzle because I don't want it to overtake everything because it has a tendency to do that. I'm just going to put a drizzle of the 24 karat Deco Art Gold on there. All right, got all my colors represented there. And I'm going to be swiping with my cards, and I'm going to be using the black cell activator, which is Amsterdam black mixed with Australian Floetrol, 3-to-1, or roughly 3 to 4-to-1. I always say when you get your mixture made, test it. And it's not a bad idea. I didn't do that today, but it's not a bad idea if it's been sitting there for a few days to test it again, because sometimes they thicken up. All right, I want to make sure you guys are in the frame here. So all I'm going to do is go halfway up with the black and pull down. Steady swipe all the way down. Try to have enough black on your card, pretty good thickness there, because you're pulling down quite a ways. So you want to make sure you get that. Also press down just a little bit so that you're pulling those colors all the way out. This particular client of mine I've had for years. And her daughter just came out like about a year and a half ago. So she thought it would be cool to make her a Lazy Susan for her apartment. With the Pride logo. I mean, who doesn't love a rainbow, right? So we're really proud of her for coming out and knowing who she is, and she's doing really well. All right, we've almost got all the way down. We've got the colors are all present, which is nice. I'm going to have to do some in-between work with the smaller cards, but that's all right. Pretty normal. And that gold I can see is just like barely there, but you can see it. It's surrounding some of the cells in the center. And I am going to be swirling this at the end. Okay, let's go to the other side. I think I'm still on the same card. If you're careful with these cards, you can get all the way through with one of them. All right, let's go. Of course, having said that, I see now that it's got a little bit of a dip in it, so I am probably going to go to a new card. It's hard to not get that dip in them when you're cleaning them off. They get a little warped. Come back here, Lazy Susan. Oh my gosh, I love that red and black together. Okay, try to go all the way up on your swipe all the way up to that line where the other swipe came from. Running out of cell activator already. This is a 15-inch Lazy Susan. It's I get them from IKEA. And they finally had them in stock again. They were out for a while, so. I always run out of room to clean my card off. When I get it in my head that I want to do something, I just want to do it. I'm not very patient always with waiting. So sometimes I'm a little unorganized, but that's all right. That's usually when my best creations happen. So hopefully that will be the case with this one. See how just giving it a little bit of pressure when you pick up that paint brings that color all the way through. So you don't want to be too heavy-handed with it, or otherwise you'll pick up the base paint, but you want to put some pressure on it. Almost like a little dig at the beginning. A little bit of a push down, a little bit, and then pull all the way. And instead of white cells down here, you'll get colored cells. Sales. I said that like I'm Southern or something. Sales. Okay. One more swipe, one more big swipe, and then I'm going to go to the smaller card, fill in some of those gaps. I'm not always good with getting them close enough together. All right, where are my little cards? Okay, the little cards I just dip into the paint, or into the cell activator. Sometimes I don't mind those little gaps, but I want this to be completely covered. I know, sorry, I'm probably making you dizzy. Every time I let go, that takes off. Okay, let's get the other side. I'm actually doing this on 4th of July weekend, so I should be doing red, white, and blue. I'm a little behind. So hopefully you guys are having a good 4th of July weekend, staying safe. Wow, I'm really liking this so far. Hopefully my swirl goes good. Okay. All right, I always spin first. To me, it gives you a cleaner line when you swirl, because you get a lot of that extra paint off, and then you're not moving it around. I like it to keep the nice swirls, kind of perfect swirls, so that's why I always spin first. So let's give it a spin. Paint is going everywhere. I hope I don't lose that red. I already lost it on one side. All right. I gave that a really good spin, so I'm not going to spin it again because I don't want to lose all of the red. I'm actually thinking about putting some more red here. Let's see what we can do. That's always a problem with rainbows and when you're spinning. You got to make sure you got enough on the ends. So let's go with my, no, that's not going to be big enough. Let's cut one of these down. All right. So I just put a little bit of red paint there on the edge. Let me make sure I get you guys in here. And I'm just going to swipe again. And I think enough of that orange will come through the black, so we won't lose the orange too. And I'm going to go back the other way. Okay, hopefully we'll get some of that red that will come through. Come on, red. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little spin to get those cells a little bit bigger, and I don't want to give it a huge spin because I don't want to lose this red over here. But since we've got red on both sides, I think we're good. Yeah, that's better. And those cells will continue to open up, so I think we've got enough red in there. All right, let me get my skewer out. I'll wipe some of this extra paint off so it doesn't continue to slide off that red. And let's give it a big, I'm going to go big or bigger than I have been. I'm going to try and hit out here to out some of these outer perimeters because I'm only going to do a middle swipe, or I mean swirl. So make sure you're all the way in here. Let's go. Swirl that up. Just adding a little bit of smaller swirls to the outer edges. Just to pull some of that paint in together. Not liking this white dot right here. So just dip your skewer in and get rid of it. Usually those are just bubbles that pop. I don't have a whole bunch of them, but little ones. So see how pretty that stays, that design. It's not going anywhere now. It's because I'm not going to spin. So the lines that I have are going to stay nice and pretty and crisp. Get rid of that bubble. Let's get rid of this bubble so we don't end up with a big white bubble in the middle. This cell here, I don't know if you can see where I'm right there. That cell. So let's get rid of that because I'm not happy totally with that. So I'm just going to go in and swoop through it. Voila, gone. Really like this. This is really pretty. I'm going to have to do some more rainbow. Just going around again on the bottom. I want to keep as much of that red as I can, so I'm going to keep swiping so that it doesn't continue to drip and pull that red off the surface. Just really pretty, if I do say so myself. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I like to go in and just hit little things that I think could be better, like globby looking cells. I'm just going in with my pointy end. You don't want to do too much of that, but you can do a little. I'm going to go through this one, and that'll just add to that design. Okay, I think we're good. Very happy with that. Still wish I'd had some more red, but I'll remember that for next time, that I've got to make the outer edge colors have to go in further. So I can keep most of them. But that's okay. I'm done. I'm not touching it anymore. So there you are. I will bring you in for a close-up. Be right back.